Live from the City of Angels, Eric Weber here, MMT Midnight Movie Talk on this Thursday box office preview. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe if you have not already. I appreciate it. Let's get to the top story. We're going to get to one of the worst films of the year in the MEG 2 in moments, but we will start with Barbie, which is now at over $800 million worldwide, $823 million, $429 overseas, and we are now at going to do it today, $400 million domestic. Today's total will put it over 400 domestic. And quickly, and then we'll get comments on this later in the show, because I want to kind of lay out all of the stuff we're talking about and get to it, and then come back if we need to discuss these things. When you look at Barbie, it's not going to get to Maverick, right? It's not going to get to 700 plus million, but it should be able to get to 550, 600, maybe even a little more than that, which will be obviously huge for Warner Brothers. They're very excited about this. They need this because they have films like the MEG 2 hitting the theaters this weekend. But you know what? Let's just do it. You guys ready? Here we go. Oh, God. These are the moments I say, why did I choose to do this for a passion? To watch movies when you sit through shitty films like the MEG 2. This is my face as the credits rolled at the Dolby Cinema at the Burbank 16, the number one AMC in the entire country. I'm just throwing that in there just to kind of give some positivity to this, because it's going to get bad in a second. Everything about this film screams, it is August. What is August, everybody? Help me out. It is a dump month, meaning the studios start putting out the trash that they've been holding on to for the entire year. You get two dump months, January and August. Those are true Drek Central of the cinematic calendar. The MEG, the first one, did very well worldwide. I mean, it was a big hit, especially in China. That's why we have this film. I do want to say, before I get into my thoughts on the MEG 2, I'm going to admit something to you that I hope doesn't devalue my skill in your eyes as a film evaluator. I hope that this doesn't remove all of my credibility with what I'm about to be forthcoming about. I never saw the MEG. I know. Come in with the comments. How do you consider yourself to be an elite film evaluator without having seen the MEG? It's a very fair question, to be honest with you. I have no answer for that, except that I trust that you'll be gentle with me as I tell you that the MEG 2, The Trench, was my introduction to the Megalodon shark universe. So let's go through the evaluation. I'm just going to leave my face up there. It's the perfect visual for what I'm about ready to tell you about this film. Number one, I thought I was watching a Sci-Fi Channel movie. I was under the assumption, having watched, again, not seen the first, that the MEG 2 is part of the Sharknado universe. Because right off the bat, when the movie starts, the effects of dinosaurs being eaten by giant sharks looks like something I would get on basic cable. It's crap CGI. How cheaply can we make this movie? That's the first thing that you realize sitting through the MEG 2. Number two, the first half of the MEG 2, The Trench, gets us stuck in the trench, which reminded me of a superior movie overall. Not a great film, but certainly infinitely more interesting than MEG 2, The Trench. Do you guys know where I'm going with this? If any of you suffered through this film, you know where I'm headed. It is Underwater with Kristen Stewart. None of you saw it a couple years ago. Before COVID, there was a movie where she was under the ocean in some kind of sea lab, and there was a gigantic kaiju, aren't they all gigantic, that came after her at the end. But it's much better than the Meg 2. But whoever wrote this, who's the director here? Wheatley, I don't even care. Doesn't matter. Whoever wrote this just said, let's make the first half of the movie like Underwater because it has some cool things. The problem is it's so boring the first half. What am I watching? And why are there so many characters? And just show me a gigantic shark terrorizing people. We finally get to that in the final act, which takes forever as we get to, you guys ready for the name of this? We get to Fun Island. I got news for you. This is the Meg 2. That is Agony Island. For having sat through this film, look at the face on your screen. That's legit emotion from me after 2 hours of this unfun, even as a B movie, shit show of a film. We talk about wasting time out of your life. As much as I love Theatrical, we don't want to see this succeed because this got a 20% from the MMT score. That is terrible. Guys, this is a low F. I think it's actually too high. It probably should be 15 or lower. I'm feeling generous. Haven't done a show since Sunday. That's why the number is slightly higher on this film. One last look at the face, and that's all you need to know about Meg 2, The Trench. Let's do the sales check, everybody. We go to the 840 in the same theater I was just in hours ago, the Dolby in Burbank. Here we go. It is surprisingly busy. Remember, though, the Burbank AMC complex of all three different theaters is the number one AMC in the world. So you're going to have a pretty good audience, and it's not too bad. So it's hard to say based on this. Let's just go look at like a regular screening, not Dolby. Let's just go look at the laser 10 o'clock and see what we got. Yeah, that's more like it. Like 20 people. Yeah, we'll go watch the Meg 2. And by the way, it's just Meg 2. I apologize for calling it the Meg, because this time it's just Meg 2. Was the first one Meg or the Meg? I thought it was the Meg. I'm not watching it. Don't even ask me to watch it. I'm not going to watch the first one after sitting through this film. There's no chance in hell. Here's our MMT projector on the film. It is 20 million. That is the lowest number that anybody has out there, and that's after suffering through this film. There's no way that I can go higher than 20. I mean, if it even, I'll be shocked if it even gets to 20. I know the first one had 500 million. Producer Nate back in the house, everybody. Round of applause for him, everybody. 500 million worldwide. That's why we sat through this film. We got another one of these. 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what? I didn't even bother doing that. Let's look. Who recommend? We're going to do an early whack film review. We're going to have plenty to deal with on Sunday when all the reviews from the Meg come in. Who recommended the Meg 2? What the hell is happening? My God. By the way, on the way, we're going to talk about shills versus film critics. Are the shills taking over the realm of film criticism? That is upcoming, along with TMNT discussion. And we have our must-see and Vanessa Kirby, Fantastic Four. Christopher Nolan doesn't like CGI. No surprise. Haunted Mansion, a 4-hour cut. All that's coming up. But first, let's go ahead and savage someone who recommended the Meg 2. This is your early, everybody. This is your early MMT whack film review of the week. We roll. This is live. I have not looked at any of these. As soon as I see the first fresh, we're going to savage that person. We roll. We're scroll. There it is. Megan Navarro. Ladies and gentlemen, you have won the MMT whack film review of the week, early edition. We'll have one Sunday as well. Let's read it, and then I will laugh. Wheatley goes full throttle on the B-movie spectacle, packing the first half will put you in a coma, Megan. What are you doing? What the hell were you doing? Did you get high on? Did you do some coke before you went in? I'm thinking Megan did. Megan, I assume that you did some serious uppers to get through that first hour, and you thought it was exciting because it's not nonstop entertainment. Messy. It's boring. It's terrible. Messy's too kind. 3 out of 5. Good God. Megan, help me out, everybody. By the way, new mic tonight. Tell me if it sounds better. As far as when I'm about ready to deliver, I'm going to deliver. It is over. It's over. You cannot recommend the MEG. There's another one next to it. I'm going to save it. I don't want to go to tonight. We're going to save another whack film review for Sunday night. But Megan Navarro, you have won the early. No, Lauren, you don't want to see it. You don't say that. You do not want to put yourself through this film, okay? If you do, you are into self-torture. I have a hot take. Tar is better than MEG 2. Thank you, Max. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. By the way, tonight's kit, I want a little love for this. Tonight's kit is Bournemouth. And why did I wear it? Can you guys see? It has, hold on, let me get up here. It has, like, shark teeth design, plus it's red for the blood. These things are planned out on MMT. We don't just come on here with any old football kit. We had these things organized and laid out for shows weeks ahead. This is all planned. So don't just take that for granted. Okay. We'll come back to the MEG if you want to talk about that later. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here tonight on this Thursday. We haven't done a show since Sunday. That means we have a lot to discuss. TMNT, excuse me for missing the end, shells $10 million. So $10 million opening day. I thought the film would do a little better than that. Let's look at the sales for that film right now because it's only been in theaters, a few nights, 3 nights, right? Third night. Here we go. This is Mutant Ninja